Hello everyone, this is Heather Talheimer and welcome to 4 Minute Friday. Today's episode is Living in Expansion. There is a story about Mohini, the first white tiger that came to the United States. She was a gift to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. Upon her arrival, there was much excitement surrounding this rarest of creatures. With sleek white fur and ice blue eyes, Mohini looked magnificent. But what was in the mind of this beautiful animal? On entering the zoo, Mohini was kept in a 12 by 12 foot cage. She spent her days pacing back and forth. Meanwhile, the zoo built her a beautifully landscaped jungle environment to roam at will, to allow families to watch her comings and goings. Once the enclosure was completed, Mohini was released from the limits of her cage. But Mohini didn't roam and relax to the delight of audiences. Instead, she withdrew to the corner of her new environment and paced back and forth on a small, worn-out patch of dirt that she chose not to venture beyond. There were no longer any bars to hold Mohini back, only the self-imposed constraints that she had built in her own mind. Mohini's story reminded me of Anita Moorjani's book, What If This Is Heaven? Anita poses the idea that we could live in heaven, or whatever word you use to describe your happy place, if we were not so attached to the many cultural myths that cage us in. These myths are often mistaken for indisputable truths. One such myth, we get what we deserve, is ingrained in us from childhood, and, as Anita suggests, truly limits our lives. Anita's boldness challenges us to let go of the ideas that imprison us. You know, it's easy to get caught in a myth like Anita's example, we get what we deserve. And it occurs to me that this myth conveniently explains why we are often so unhappy. With this mindset, happiness occurs as something that is fleeting because we don't really deserve to be happy in the first place. We often find ourselves caught in the illusion that our happiness is dependent on our circumstances and miss that happiness comes in finding a reason to be happy. I thought about the ideas that restrain me. One such idea is time. It's easy for me to fall into the trap of worrying that I don't have enough time for everything. I end up feeling stressed and overwhelmed, stuck in the tiger's cage. But in moments when I free my mind from this limitation, I experience time differently. I live in the now, not worried about the past or the future. Freed from stress, time seems to expand. Today, take a step outside of the mental constraints that limit you. Take a moment to pause and breathe. Consider the myths that might be holding you back. Let go of them. Allow for an expansion within yourself. Broaden your environment. Explore the abundance that is there for you. Warm to the joy and peace that exist in your newly expanded world. Thank you for listening and wishing you a wholehearted week.